OK，
好嘞。
The body the management investment fund is established at the university. We believe that students manage the investment funds are not feasible within the 13-week university course time frame. Firstly, the investment cycle is seriously mismatched with the semester cycle. Real investment performance is measured in years, and the course is only 13 weeks. Studies show that the annual turnover rate of the fund managed of SMF participates is as high as 100% to 200%. Students spend the first half of the semester learning tools, and when they actually invest, it is close to the end of the semester. The course ends a few weeks after buying stocks, and it's impossible to observe the long-term consequences. Secondly, the interruption of continually leads to high turnover every 13 weeks. Students change classes, and the new students often clear their producer holding. Data shows that the annual turnover rate of students found is 32%, within the highest being 100%, far exceeding the 15 to 20% of professional funds. Third, there is no solution to hide the vacant period. No one managed for several months during the summer vacation. Is that the empty position exists the opportunity for the position is held at risk. Many projects close their positions before the holiday and start again every semester. The 13-week limited puts SMF into a short-term trading cycle and prevent it from implementing a true long-term investment strategy. Now let's welcome the Kaichang.
Thanks, Kaihao. Hundreds of universities around the world have successfully operated SMIF courses, proving that the 13-week framework is completely feasible. First, the course design can overcome the time constraints. Many universities adopt cross-school years courses, and students manage funds for 2 consecutive semesters. Excellent students can repeat their academic course to ensure inheritance. 71% of ITMLF in the United States are offered as formal courses. Proving feasibility. Second, there are mature plans for holiday management. At the end of semester, teachers, students formulate holiday plans that stop loss orders or convert to index funds. The school then is the tutors to monitor holidays execute transactions when conditions are triggered. Although 88% of the projects do not teach in the summer, they ensure the safety of funds through institutional arrangements. So the course attributes bring advantages. The formal courses have clear outlines and the tutors make careful arrangements. Teach methods at the beginning of the semester, do research in the middle, and make decisions in the later stage. The complete closed loop is completed within 13 weeks with high learning density and high efficiency. The pressure of course scoring promotes students to take every decision seriously. The 13-week high intensity training camp allows students to get the most practical investment experience in the shortest time. Now is Xiaoyu's part.
Thank you, Kaichang. Okay. There are three fundamental mistakes in the speech of o- the opening debate Kaihao. Firstly, regarding the mismatch of the investment cycles, the other party confused the teaching objective with the actual investment objectives. The core objective of SMIF is not to pursue absolute return, but the enable students to master investment analysis, merge decision-making process, and the risk management skills. The 13 weeks is fully sufficient for the students to complete a full investment learning cycle, just like the marketing analysis to the company research and to the investment decision making and to risk monitoring and to the result reflection. The second is regarding the issue of the continuity. The other parties overlooked the knowledge inheritance mechanism of the modern SMIF projects. Outstanding the SMIF have all established a company's inheritance system. The detailed investment research report, the decision-making meeting minutes, and the risk assessment documents. Thanks. The next one.
Thank you for the new and Qing. I was to say they said that the two. I want to say that they will prove and they will maintain that the 2 semester of the course just prove our point. 30 week alone is indeed not enough. It is if it is really possible, why this need to be extended? Because it's hard to be done. And the complex argument of the holiday management is just expose the problem. During the holiday, they might be changed such as the policy adjustment, industry rotation, and emergency, which require the professional judgment and the timely adjustment. And also the tutorial monitoring also actually mean that the tutorial making discussion on behalf of the student. It's just they call the student management. No, it's not, because it was not be based on the basis definition of the SNIF, and compare the comply investments proceed into the 13 week. It's like the comply in the 4-year Medicare course in 1 month. The result will maybe the quite successful, but the kind of successful will not be improve the value in investment ability, only improve the circularity momentarily. And based on the data support, we can see the proportion of the student in short-term SNIF project who work in the finance after graduation is significantly lower than the student learning from the long-term projects. That means the short-term project cannot be make the student have the deep understanding from their studying subject, and that is hard to be from their future. Yes, thank you. And next from my
Hello, guys. The opposite said a lot of additional measures such as cross-school year course and mental monitoring are needed, but insist that 30 weeks is completely feasible, which is self-contributory. A study by the University of Pennsylvania shows that the average annualized return of 30-week projects is 3.2%, and the set of projects over 12 months is 8.7%. The shape ratio of the former is 0.31, and the set of the latter is 0.58. The data proves that time limited directly affect the performance. The sense of investment education is to fluid market insight, risk awareness, and long-term thinking, which require time to settle and a complete market cycle. 30 weeks fundamentally violates the law of investment education. Welcome, next person, Kaichang.
Thank you, Kaihao. The other party evaluates SIF as a professional fund and completely ignores the educational attributes. This is a fundamental corner error regarding the sector use of the data. The other parties had the Wharton study on the difference in use, but deliberately ignored the conclusion of the study. The 13-week project is basically equivalent to the long-term project in the 3 teaching dimensions of student satisfaction, knowledge mastery, and professional skills improvement. The difference in return comes from the different risk preference. Short-term projects focus on risk control, and long-term projects bear higher risk. This just proves the educational value of the 13-week SMIF, cultivating students' risk awareness rather than blindly pursuing higher returns. Modern educational theory supports short-term intensive learning. MIT research shows that 13 weeks of high intensity learning often outperforms low intensity long-term study. Students experience a rapid cycle of theory, practice, reflection in SMIF and obtain learning results equivalent to 1 year of traditional courses in a short period of time. This intensive training makes a deep impression on students and has a high learning conversion rate. The reference mechanism is more complete than the other party imagined. This is not only document delivery, but also external and cultural continuity. Monitor continuity ensures consistent ideas. Alumni networks provide experience sharing and case library context provides reference for subsequent students. This kind of diverse inference is richer than the personal experience of a single manager. Real education must be carried out under constraints. The key is to maximize the effect rather than extend the time indefinitely. Here's the end of my part.
Thank you. And here's my part for the time yes investment. After the debate, the cost problem is clean. As an IMS, it's indeed not possible within the 30-week fair walk. This is the factory between the time and the investment. Investment requires long time thinking, and 30-week cannot be expense cannot be get the full cycle. Uh, if we agree that the investment require the long-term thinking, then using a short-term failure for investment education is not be full. It's not be successful. Just like using the 100-meter square training for train the marathon runner, it is impossible because it was not be in the same place and the same business. And also the issue cannot be the operational issue cannot be the cannot be solved. The all solution proposed by the other party to be the to problem other member to problem such as the high turnover holiday record and then a lot of additional resource and complex arrangement. Well, it just proved that the 30-week fair walk is not be the successful. When so many remainder measure are needed, it shows that the original fair walk has the problem from the base. So there is the flaw in the education efforts. Short-term SNIF program will only give the quick and quick or successful. It was not be helpful about the value investment and then the indeed results. And but from our major and from our future, the indeed investment result are be very important from the financial education goals we hope from. So it doesn't mean we are not agree from the SNIF itself, but we can find the better solution, such as the like cost-year investment clause, cost-year investment club, and the summer in the internship program. And education should not be the product from the compromise. While we know that the delivery is not enough, why should we try to improve that one? Why should we try to do it better? This is our responsibility. Responsible to do this to recognize limitation and seek better solution. Yeah, thank you. And next to be the Qing.
Okay, thank you. According to the ACSB survey, the 86% of students think it is very valuable, and the 78% of the employees believe it is helpful for the recruitment, and the 73% of the participating students will work in the finance after graduation. The modern cognitive science indicates that the higher intensity and the higher feedback learning is more effective than the low density long-term learning. With certain weaknesses, students will concentrated attention and time feedback, and the moderate pressure will get more impressive and the effective intensive experience than the long period of the low density learning. The education should cultivate the students' ability to solve problem and the constraints of the reality, making the best decision with a limited time and creating the greatest value under the perfect conditions. This is the precisely the core competitiveness and the modern workplace most needs. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for watching. And we are working a question about from the problem. We would like to explore our comments, and thank you very much.